Welcome to the Full of Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording. It is 4:07 p.m. that is Central Time. Today is July 28th. Well, we've had a lot of action over the last 48 hours. On the one hand, you have the trade deal between the USA and the EU, and it's decidedly one-sided. So, on the one hand, you have the USA dropping its ask down to a 15% tariff, and in return, the EU will not impose tariffs on US exports. And then they will also commit to buying more energy, more defense from the USA. And then the eventual tariff on pharmaceuticals is yet decided, but is unlikely to be higher than 15%. And pharmaceuticals is the big line item in the exports from Europe to the USA. Obviously, it's not a great look for Europe to have terms dictated to it, and it's also not at all within what the EU is used to. They much prefer to have these lengthy periods of time where they get to uh, write up the drafts, negotiate upon the draft, and spend years niggling over minutiae. And what the USA has now done is basically deliver a fait accompli and say, right, these are the terms, take them or leave them. So not only did it put the EU in a difficult position, but it also changed the way that they're usually conducting their negotiations, and separately, it robbed them of their negotiating power, because to be dictated terms is obviously something that they just couldn't do much about. Well, what we can see very clearly today is that the dollar index was up by a full point. So the market is very clearly voting with its feet and saying that the dollar is worth more now that this uh, trade agreement has been agreed. And now the next question is, what happens with China? When we look at what the USA has done so far, they've reached agreements with countries like Vietnam, the UK, Japan, and now the EU. So that is in many respects closing off some of the open questions about the trade war. But alternatively, what it could be viewed as is laying the foundation for the next stage of the trade war, which would be to focus more on Russia and China. Now, there is already a partial agreement with China because the ban on the exports of rare earths